Good afternoon and welcome to the Ignition Community Conference. To kick off our conference, please welcome Inductive Automation's Chief Executive Officer, Colby Clegg, and Chief Technology Officer, Carl Gould.
All right, hello. Welcome. Thank you all. Thank you so much for being here. After 12 years in the same location, we have finally leveled up to a new scale. All right, it's truly a historic moment in our company's history, and so we just want to take a moment to welcome you and thank you all for making the effort to be here with us this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we get into today's keynote, there's something we have to get out of the way right up front, and that is that as of this morning, Ignition 8.3 is officially released.
Yep. We know a lot of you have been anticipating this release for a long time, and it's great to finally have it here. It represents a tremendous amount of work, and we are so proud of what our software engineering division has created. But of course, it takes the whole company, and so we are proud of the way that all divisions of the company have worked together to make this truly the best release ever.
And for any of you who haven't been following along the 8.3 release all that closely, I'm sure you're pretty anxious to hear all about it. Now, the release is not actually the topic of today's keynote, but rest assured that Colby and I will be back up here tomorrow morning at the technical keynote, and we will get into a bunch of what makes this release so interesting. Also, the whole conference schedule is just packed full of great sessions that dive deep into the benefits you can expect from this release. What we want to do today is explore where inductive automation and this community are as a whole.
Yes, and on the subject of community, we always have to point out that when we started this conference for the first time, we really didn't even know if we had a community. And we certainly didn't know if that hypothetical community would show up at our event. But we took a leap of faith, and aren't we glad we did? Because in that action, we sparked something that we just never could have imagined.
Yeah, this conference has become such an important part of how we all engage with one another. The simple act of coming together each year has really helped to cultivate and grow the very concept of community, which is now so central to the identity of inductive automation.
We certainly loved hosting the conference for all of those years in Folsom, our home and our backyard. And over the last few years, many of you also became very fond of visiting our historic and charming little city. However, for nearly the entire history of this conference, one of the main questions we got was, when are you going to expand? To be honest, we resisted for years out of fear of ruining a good thing. While it was certainly packed in that old venue, we thought that the close quarters contributed so much to the interactions and the conversations that have really become the hallmark of ICC.
Yeah, but of course it's important to grow, and for a company like ours leading the way and defining a new standard for the industry, it's important for us to be able to expand this community and make space to welcome new members. So here we are today in this beautiful facility in downtown Sacramento. We've worked hard this year to create more space and build in new opportunities to welcome more people while still staying true to the heart of what ICC is. It's an experiment. There will be a lot of things that are different this year, but what hasn't changed is that the true magic of this conference doesn't come from the location. Of course, it comes from the people.
That's right. You and us coming together, united by a passion for creating and innovating, driving the industry forward, and making an impactful change on this world, all based on this software platform we love, Ignition. I think we've already seen it in action this morning. So many of the conversations and the events that have already occurred show the energy and the passion this community has. So again, thank you all for making the effort to be here with us this week. Thank you for joining us virtually, if that's how you're attending, to really help kick off this new era of ICC. Now, before we go too far, we should introduce ourselves, because while there are certainly some of you that we know extremely well, with such rapid growth of this community, there are so many new people here as well. So, my name is Colby Clegg, and I'm the CEO of Inductive Automation.
And I'm Carl Gould, I'm the CTO, and both Colby and I are founding members of Inductive Automation and the original developers of the software. 23 years ago, we were introduced to Steve Heckman, a systems integrator who was frustrated with the options available to him in the industrial software market, and who had ideas for a better way to make OT software.
Yes, and if by some chance this is the first time you're hearing this, we think there are a few important details you should know about who we are as a company. First of all, We bootstrapped our growth and grew organically over these 22 years with no outside investment or influence. This has given us complete independence and control over everything we do.
Second is that we've always been laser focused on solving practical problems for integrators, and we're very proud to be supported by our integrator community, which we're really passionate about. Remember, we started off as integrators ourselves.
Yes, and finally, all of our core development and support are done in-house. This lets all divisions of the company work together to provide the best experience possible.
There's certainly a lot more we could say. We do enjoy talking about ourselves up here, but we'll leave it at that for now. We wanted to highlight these 3 points in particular, though, because we thought that for anyone who's new, these are the important things to understand about inductive automation and what makes us pretty unique in this industry. It's easy to focus, especially for engineers like us, always on the technology, but the company behind the technology is equally as important. You know, for the past 20 plus years, Colby and I have dedicated ourselves to building, evolving, and transforming both the company and the software. And we've seen this company grow from just a few people to what it is today, a large, sophisticated, multinational team. And we've seen the software grow from humble beginnings as a utility that connected OPC to SQL databases in 2003 to what it is today with the release of Ignition 8.3, a modern, sleek, and capable industrial integration platform that's able to span horizontally across many different industries, as well as really deeply within your industrial organizations. I think this journey has given us a pretty interesting perspective.
Absolutely, which is why we're confident when we say this truly is the most important ICC that we've ever done. I mean, think of how the world has changed over the last few years. Think of how things have changed since this conference last year. Even if you weren't here last year, you know that this has been a period of incredible innovation and really so many different things that have happened. There are new technologies and new opportunities at every turn. There have been new philosophies, new concepts, and new models that have taken hold as the standard way to do things. There are new companies that have emerged as leaders, and there are new products every day in the market. Of course, with all of this comes new fears and concerns as well. Ultimately, change is all around us. So how fitting is it for us to have changed the venue of ICC at this moment? How fortunate for us to have this opportunity to come together, larger than ever, more participants than ever, more diverse than ever, to come together and make sense of all of this change and novelty that's right in front of us.
Yeah, the theme of level up is also fitting because every day we seem to be bombarded by a bunch of messages, you know, from all angles that we all need to level up. We're hearing things like, you've got to digitally transform your enterprise today and connect all your plants globally or else you'll be left behind. Or how about, you've got to transform your integration business and become, you know, experts in every new competency right now, or your projects are doomed to fail. Or, you know, a personal favorite of mine, you've got to adopt AI and become a world-class prompting expert or you'll be out of a job within a year.
Have you become an AI expert?
I'm working on it.
Okay, good. Well, the fact of the matter is we're not using our theme in this way to try to scare you. We're not saying that you need to level up or else. No, we use our theme as an invitation to explore how by coming together we can achieve something special. And I absolutely believe that over the next few days, all of us are going to level up together.
Yeah, and make no mistake, we do think this is a pretty pivotal moment in the industry because right now we're seeing the convergence of so many technologies and ideas that we've all been talking about for years now becoming mainstream and being adopted at breakneck pace. And that mainstream adoption brings both opportunities and challenges that do invite us all to level up together.
Yes, so again, how fitting is it that we're finally releasing Ignition 8.3 here at the conference this morning? It's true, we had originally hoped to get it out a little earlier in the year, but there is a special significance to it being launched here at the conference. Right in time for this moment, when we gather together to examine where we are as an industry, as a community, as participants in this technology ecosystem that's changing so rapidly, and to confront together right here over the next few days how we're not going to just navigate this technological revolution, but in fact lead it.
Because there is no better group to lead the way than this one right here. And there's no better time to dedicate ourselves to the task of defining that future than right now, this week. And with our release this morning, there's no better product to be the foundation to build that future on.
And that's important because we do believe that there is fundamentally a new paradigm of industrial integration that has taken root and is transforming the industry.
Yeah, and we believe that new technologies like, yes, AI, but also IT, container-driven orchestration, automation are disruptive forces that are really greatly accelerating the pace of innovation and adoption.
We believe that we all have a lot to learn over the next few years, and it's going to be vital to adopt a level-up mindset in order to thrive in this new paradigm.
Yeah, but if all of that sounds a little daunting, take a deep breath. You're in the right place. We're here to help. If you're wondering how to take those first steps toward modernizing a factory, or the next steps in unifying a whole enterprise, or how to take advantage of these new opportunities around AI, or how to prepare for an unknown future, we believe there really is a very simple answer, and it starts with ignition.
It starts with ignition. In a complex world with some daunting challenges, you need simple anchor points to hold on to. The majority of you are working on the plant floor to optimize your production systems and then integrate them up into your enterprises into a global scale. So how do you unlock digital transformation? How do you achieve the dream of Industry 4.0? How do you build for today while, more importantly, future-proofing for tomorrow? Well, the first step is simple. It starts with ignition. Our goal over the next few days is quite simple. We want to leave you convinced of one thing. There is no better foundation for your industrial technology plans than ignition. You truly are in the right place at the right time.
Now, practically speaking, in today's keynote, what we're going to try to do is make sense of where we're all at and how we got here and the role ignition played along the way, and how everything right now is coming together to provide this amazing foundation for the future. You'll hear some exciting announcements. You'll see some inspiring examples of what some amazing companies are doing with ignition. And you'll hear about how inductive automation is focused on being as strong as possible for you and for the industry.
In tomorrow's keynote, we'll dive deeper into ignition itself, and we'll explore how Ignition 8.3 isn't a destination, but a starting point for building the future. We'll talk about how we're going to speed the velocity of building that future. We'll talk about some of the hot topics of the moment, and there will certainly be some interesting surprises along the way. So you won't want to miss it.
And we'll conclude the week with the ever-popular Build-a-thon, an event that stands on its own as world-class entertainment, but it does so much more than that. It shows how some of the world's best integrators are able to leverage ignition to deliver results on a time frame that's just unimaginable with other software. And in between, you'll be able to attend a number of excellent sessions and have a bunch of interesting conversations with us and with colleagues, all circling around the idea that this community really is in the right place at the right time.
Okay, to really get started, we have to try to make sense of the world right now. Okay, perhaps that's a little ambitious. Let's make sense of the world of industrial technology. Okay, so let's start by defining a situation that we all know too well, that we're going to call the old paradigm of industrial integration.
Yeah, for decades, we've all pictured industrial enterprises as this familiar pyramid, right? Tidy layers with, sensors at the bottom, up through control and supervision, with enterprise neatly perched on top, all nicely stacked and integrated together. And this is a useful abstraction, but in reality, systems are rarely this tidy. They're much more often inconsistent patchworks that are stitched together with fragile, rigid integrations that resist scale.
Yes, the old approach relied on point-to-point connections between layers. Integration kind of meant connecting one layer up, one layer down. This worked for a while, but over time, it creates fragile, delicate systems, and especially data silos that are hard to penetrate.
In the old paradigm, software was closed and proprietary, which made organizations get locked into rigid vendor ecosystems that really resisted being integrated together. Each application tended to live in and specialize in just one layer, deepening the data silos and making real integration throughout the enterprise nearly impossible.
These tools, of course, also impose all sorts of unnecessary limitations, typically financial in nature, charging for every tag or data point, every client, every designer, every project, so on and so on. Instead of empowering integrators, they created frustrations and stifled innovation. It made the job of integration, frankly, frustrating at best and sometimes downright impossible. Meanwhile, advancements in IT technology, combined with the incredible scale of enterprise needs and enterprise organizations, created demands that this old paradigm just couldn't keep up with.
In the end, the old paradigm just couldn't handle the speed, complexity, or scale demanded by today's modern industrial operations. Now, I don't think this is a surprise to anyone in this room. We've all been living through this old model slowly collapsing under its own weight, which has now opened up the door for something new.
Right, so what is the new paradigm? Well, to answer that question, let's simply step back and look at the motivating goal of enterprises over the last 10 years or so. Not to optimize layers, but to function outside of layers. Modern industrial enterprises want to connect data together. They want to integrate their entire plants, all of their sites together into a unified system. Data can come from anywhere, and this has really pushed the old paradigm past its breaking point.
So let's start right there with data. You've got to liberate it from the devices and organize it, contextualize it, store it, share it. So right off the bat, you can't be constrained by limitations, right? You can't be expected to be able to anticipate or predict how many data points you might ever want to collect. And that means that in the new paradigm, having an unlimited mindset is required, and that includes unlimited licensing.
Yes. Next, if you're going to work outside of layers, you need a common foundation that natively spans them, not a hodgepodge collection of portfolio companies that you've acquired through the years, but rather a coherent platform that can act as the backbone of your OT operations.
In 2013, the German Industry 4.0 Working Group identified the need for such a platform to achieve these next-level automation systems. These systems of the future, as they described them, would integrate machines and warehouses and production facilities together so that they could exchange information, trigger actions, and generally control each other across the network.
Yeah, that seminal paper published 12 years ago proposed that this would be realized by two key components: an integration platform that spans the traditional function of the pyramid and integrates those technologies together, such as PLCs, SCADA, MES, and ERP. And then it also foresaw an aggregation platform that provides an overarching coordinating function outside the layers of the automation pyramid, serving as the glue that brings together data from various layers, various sites, even different organizations, into a unified system of visibility, analytics, and orchestration. This laid out the vision for a modern, horizontally and vertically integrated system, a vision that today is no longer theoretical. It has been proven, and it's based on a platform-based approach. It's becoming clear that real IT-OT convergence isn't just about connecting things. It's about having platforms and systems that integrate and aggregate and unify data all together across the entire enterprise.
Now, many customers do wish that there was just one product that would do everything they needed from one vendor that they had to deal with. And that's a nice wish, but it's simply not aligned with how technology has evolved for the past 20 or so years. Instead, what we find is that true flexibility and innovation comes from systems that prioritize openness, interoperability, and extensibility. Because the world is just too large. There's too many disparate systems, too many different industries to pretend that any one system is going to be able to do it all. So we think that these core traits of openness, interoperability, and extensibility are required for the new paradigm. And we have to point out that this definitely was not the mentality of products in the old paradigm products.
Yes, but the impact of these three characteristics, an unlimited mentality, a platform-based approach, and open interoperable data, can be seen in another key moment in the establishment of the new Industry 4.0 paradigm, which happened almost exactly 10 years ago, the realization of the industrial Internet of Things.
Yeah, in 2015, MQTT came roaring back into our industry, and this technology found new life in IIoT and the unified namespace, and as soon as practical solutions were available, you all took them and ran with them. I think now, with hindsight, we can look back and see clearly why this was such a smash hit. Because what is IIoT besides an end run around the crumbling pyramid? What is UNS besides a way to break the data silos and the gatekeeping of rigid, old paradigm applications that are locked in those pyramid layers? By connecting edge data collection directly to common data infrastructure that's accessible by any application on any layer, it realized that aggregation platform idea that was predicted by the Industry 4 paper.
Right, so this combination of Ignition as the integration platform and IIoT driven by MQTT as the aggregation platform turned the vision of Industry 4.0 into a reality by achieving the three core tenets of that concept: vertical integration of manufacturing systems, end-to-end integration of engineering throughout the entire value chain, and horizontal integration of data across the entire enterprise. When combined with the amazing advancements that paper never could have foresaw in the realm of cloud computing, infrastructure, organization and management, machine learning and AI and so on, so many other advancements in the IT and the OT realms, it brings us to a situation that can only be described by this phrase we keep using: a new paradigm. Today, we are truly operating in a new paradigm of industrial enterprise integration.
And right now, we're seeing more products than ever entering the industrial market as the new paradigm goes mainstream, especially in the aggregation space. We're seeing platforms emerge that specialize in contextualizing data, bridging enterprise and the plant floor together. And when you pair those with integration platforms that span OT and IT, together they can form the real-world foundation of these next-generation new paradigm systems. And this is where we are today. Over the last 10 or so years, the innovators and early adopters in this industry, many of whom are seated in the audience today, built, tested, and proved that the new paradigm really is superior. Many of you represent companies in some stage of a digital transformation journey, embracing the new paradigm. So I think that we are beyond debating whether or not to adopt these new technologies. No. Instead, now what we're here to do is to focus on the challenges of scale that all-out mainstream adoption creates.
Yes, so okay, what is the role of Ignition in all of this? Well, I think it's quite clear that Ignition played a pivotal role in introducing, supporting, and developing this new paradigm. So many of the core concepts in that Industry 4.0 vision have been intrinsic to Ignition since day one, or have been brought to market, made usable, valuable, and dare we say fun by Ignition.
All right, so in this new paradigm, when we're integrating beyond the traditional layers like the cool kids, does that mean we no longer need the traditional OT applications like HMI and plant-level SCADA? Of course not. That functionality is fundamental for operations, but we also need more than that. We need those applications to integrate with one another and support and blend seamlessly with the business applications in the organization as well.
And this has been the role of Ignition and why it's been such a game changer, and why we believe that Ignition really is the de facto standard implementation of the new paradigm. That's why we've historically had a little bit of a hard time describing what Ignition is. Is it an HMI? Is it SCADA? Is it MES? Yes, 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 and no. It's all of those things and so much more. And this is really not an unusual situation when new paradigms emerge. I mean, for example, think of smartphones, and when they arrived, even though they're called smartphones, the last thing we were doing was actually calling people with them.
We do see Ignition as that foundational integration platform because it can unify all your data across OT and IT, and it can deploy applications at every level of the industrial organization, all using one cohesive platform with one shared code base from edge to cloud. And in addition to being the foundation of your enterprise integration strategy, we think Ignition is vital in another really important way as well. It's your partner in keeping up with the pace of innovation as your business evolves without having to go at it alone and build things from scratch or get derailed when new technologies appear.
Right, because as all of those voices out there are telling you, with the rapid pace of change in the world, you have to keep up. But as a practical, functioning business, no matter who you are, a manufacturing organization or a systems integrator, you just can't do it all on your own. Studying each new technology in depth or constantly restructuring your teams to try to acquire every competency that the market tells you need, it's just not practical.
Yeah, don't get us wrong. We all do need to continue to learn and develop, as we go into the future. But additionally, what you need is a foundation, a platform to build on that can give you a technological boost, a platform that can help you build systems that are stable and secure, making great new technology available to you in a way that is approachable and appropriate for use in our industry. Really a platform that unlocks the new paradigm for you. And that's what Ignition is. And those are some of the key responsibilities that we feel we have at Inductive Automation. We're here to accelerate you, to empower you, to give you leverage to keep progressing and pushing the boundaries without having to go at it alone.
Yes, and in Ignition 8.3, we've proven this once again. We've included something for everyone, and no matter what your level of knowledge of the platform is, really going deep into Ignition 8.3 is truly going to help you level up. But it goes beyond that. With Ignition 8.3, we have focused everything on these key concepts that we've been talking about here today, giving you incredible leverage to level up your systems, your deployments, your solutions, and of course, your companies.
Ignition 8.3 really is designed to meet the needs of this moment. Not only does it give you the tremendous capability to scale effectively through world-class infrastructure support, which we'll see in action tomorrow morning, it also ensures that you're building on a foundation that insulates you from the risks and turmoil of constantly changing technology, which in turn helps you build really future-proof systems.
And that's vital because, as Carl mentioned just a few moments ago, we're no longer talking about if these technologies should be adopted. No, the challenge of this moment is managing the breakneck speed of massive adoption. You know, a lot of what we've been talking about this morning is actually inspired by a book that we've come to really love that perfectly describes what happens when technology paradigms shift and what happens when the marketplace moves into a new paradigm.
Yeah, that book is called Inside the Tornado by Geoffrey Moore. Some of you may be familiar with it, pretty popular book. And in it, he says that these shifts we begin with the appearance of a new category of product that incorporates breakthrough technology, enabling unprecedented benefits. The tornado, he describes, is a period of mass market adoption when the general marketplace switches over to the new infrastructure paradigm.
We believe our industry is in such a tornado moment right now. Isn't tornado a rather fitting visual of what it feels like in this moment? This whirlwind around us of innovation, of value creation, of modernization. At any rate, as the book explains, the hallmark of a tornado moment is a period of standardization and hyperscale adoption. That is exactly what we're seeing. Every integrator is busy. Every enterprise has urgency. We're all looking for every tool, every method, every shortcut we can find to go further, faster. That is why we have all come together here to level up.
Yeah, that's right. This really is the right place at the right time, and it's time to replace those insecure, inflexible, rigid old paradigm applications. It's time to integrate enterprises so that we can meet the needs of today's dynamic and complex business environments. And it's time to create the right foundation to leverage all this amazing new technology that seems to show up every day. Now, Colby and I don't know what the future holds, but we do know what's worked so far. And the track record we've demonstrated over the last 20 years makes us confident that with Ignition 8.3 and the amazing ecosystem around it, and the skill and dedication of this community right here, we are all in the best position possible to make the most of this moment. So no matter what you're trying to achieve today or tomorrow, there really is a very easy starting place. It starts with Ignition.
Yes, and if it starts with Ignition, it continues with you. We didn't get here on our own. We got here through collaboration by creating an open and extensible platform and then giving it to you, the community, and empowering you to build the solutions on top of that platform that achieve your goals. And that's what it's always been about, creating solutions together. And that's where we're going to go next, to explore in depth the growing ecosystem of solutions at your fingertips.
And for that, please help us welcome two gentlemen to the stage who probably need no introduction. They're foremost experts on Ignition use cases, working hand in hand with the community for decades and winning Build-a-thon titles. our Chief Technology Evangelist, Travis Cox, and our Chief Technology Architect, Kevin McCluskey.
So,
Have fun, guys.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Well, thank you, Carl and Colby. You know, at Inductive Automation, we've always been passionate about solving problems, and that's what drove our founders to start our company in the first place. That same drive still fuels our mission today. We want to empower the doers of the world with the tools they need to solve the problems they face.
As you've seen throughout this presentation, the industry is in a really exciting time, and a time with a lot of challenges, but also with almost unlimited possibilities. The power of Ignition gives users nearly and limitless extensibility, and Ignition 8.3 makes the platform even more powerful, flexible, and future-ready than ever before. But with all these capabilities comes a new challenge. How do you, the user, navigate this sea of possibilities to find the right solution?
Exactly. You know, one of the things that we hear most often now out in the field is that people don't just want tools. They want solutions. And solutions come in many forms. And Kevin and I are excited to share a number of different initiatives with you that are all about making sense of this opportunity and driving solutions. From integrators to technology providers to groundbreaking solutions that go beyond hype to really prove it, there's something for everybody. But as Carl and Colby said, it starts with Ignition. And that's where we're going to start, with a brand new way to purchase Ignition that makes it easier than ever to get started.
You already know that our unlimited perpetual licensing has been revolutionary in the industry, and other software vendors in our space have tried to emulate it, at least partially. But another aspect of our approach to pricing has also been a huge game changer. That's our transparent prices. Interestingly, we've noticed our competition hasn't really tried to copy that. I wonder why.
Well, while our competition tries to keep up, we're going to make their job even harder by introducing a big improvement to how people can decide what modules to purchase. As you know, Ignition's a modular platform, and that allows you to pick and choose which modules you need for your operations. And it's what makes Ignition so powerful. However, as Ignition evolves, we don't want your experience to always be buying new modules when new versions come out, or being nickel and dimed, or being confused by what modules you need.
The issue grows even more with Ignition 8.3 and the incredible new systems like event streams and the historian modules that beg to be extended, which is exactly what we plan to do in the future. We needed a way to find it, basically to make it easier for people to jump into Ignition and benefit from all it has to offer today and into the future. And I'm happy to announce that starting today, it's easier than ever to get started with Ignition. Introducing Solution Suites.
Woo! All right. Well, you know, Kevin, I think it's really important. I got something for this moment here.
That's right. That's right. We got a nice zoom in here. It says Suite Solutions.
Suite Solutions.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
right.
Sorry about that. Here. I think we got to go the other way. You know, I know all of you out there, right, we're waiting for us to rip our shirts off, like I did back when we launched Inductive University.
Yeah, we're a little too old for that, I think. 10 years ago.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But Solution Suites, they're incredible. They are curated sets of Ignition modules built around the most popular use cases for Ignition. And at first glance, Solution Suites might appear to just be a bundle of modules, which is true. However, when you purchase upgrade protection with Solution Suites, you're entitled to all upgrades for that suite in the future for free. Woo! And that means that you could take advantage of new modules without having to worry about purchasing more. And this takes our unlimited message to a whole new level.
So you probably want to hear about these. So there are 5 solution suites to start with and to mix and match from. So if we start with the application building suite, for building powerful, responsive applications, it has real-time dashboards, flexible reports, turn your data into action.
The Industrial Historian Suite is designed to optimize your time series data with the powerful new built-in Core Historian, the ability to use multiple historian types, and built-in tools for trending and analysis.
The Data Ops Suite streamlines industrial data workflows with event-driven logic, seamless SQL integration, and APIs, enabling real-time data sharing and reliable foundation for modern operations.
The Alarm Management Suite gives you the power to take control of alarms with smart notifications and flexible escalation paths to ensure fast and reliable responses.
And lastly, the Enterprise Integration Suite gets your whole company working together by connecting plant floor systems to enterprise tools using MQTT and native connectors for MongoDB and Kafka.
Solution suites embody the capability, the flexibility, and future-forward approach that defines Ignition, along with the simplicity of an off-the-shelf solution.
Whether you're building your first Ignition project or scaling out your existing system, solution suites are designed to help you move faster and stay future ready. Of course, with our transparent pricing model, we're not hiding the prices. You can see each of the prices here right behind me. And if you want to get started today, you can, because solution suites are available right now. Just go to our website to learn more. But Travis, does that mean that we're ditching the current way of doing modules?
Of course not, Kevin. You could still buy Ignition by the module. Solution suites aren't replacing our modular pricing, but they do give users a new way to buy and a new way to future-proof their Ignition systems. You can purchase solution suites by themselves. You can purchase modules by themselves, or any combination of the two to give you ultimate flexibility.
Of course, it's important to reiterate the value of solution suites with upgrade protection. For example, the Enterprise Integration Suite includes connectors right now like Kafka and MQTT. We plan on adding new connectors in the future to AWS, to Azure, and Google that you will get absolutely for free. The same is true of all of the solution suites. Here, you're not just choosing the right tools for today, you're building a solution that stays modern and relevant far into the future. Solution suites make it incredibly easy to get started. So that's solution suites.
You know, another way that we're making it easier to find the solution you need is with the Ignition Technology Ecosystem Program. And you can see it here in action at this ICC. Ignition's always been a platform designed for extensibility. That built-in openness creates something unique, an open ecosystem based on interoperability. Instead of a tightly controlled partner network built around vendor relationships, the Ignition Tech ecosystem is open and focused on empowering the Ignition user community.
The tech ecosystem showcases a wide variety of technology providers whose solutions can expand and enhance Ignition-based systems. Solutions include connectors, cloud tools, analytics platforms, cybersecurity technologies, and much more. What makes integration possible with these technologies isn't years of collaboration or custom code. It's the power of the Ignition platform itself. These providers can plug into Ignition because the platform's open nature and extensibility were designed to make it easy to do just that.
This is the ecosystem of the new paradigm. It's user-first, it's solution-focused, and it's growing fast. Since we launched the program in July, there are more than 40 technology providers taking part, with many more on the way. And the participation is tiered, from registered to verified to premier, based on how actively each provider contributes to the community and helps you deploy real-world solutions. And if you want to know if these solutions work with Ignition, you don't just take our word for it. You can see many of these in action at this year's new Prove It showcases right across the hall.
That brings us to Prove It showcases. They're where tech providers demonstrate their technology live. No slides, no vague promises, just working demos that solve real problems. Each showcase features a realistic industrial scenario powered by a unified namespace and the Prove It Virtual Factory, where providers can show exactly how their solutions work, including architecture diagrams, design specs, deployment timeframes, and more.
You know, when we went to the Prove It conference earlier this year, we immediately saw the value of this kind of demonstration and how it could work here at ICC. Prove It's a great fit because it reflects the same philosophy that Kevin and I have always had in the company. Don't just tell people what's possible, go and do it. Demo it, prove it. We want to thank the Prove It Association for putting on the showcases this year. And if you hadn't had a chance to go check one out yet, you got to do it just across the hall in the Proving Grounds.
It's not just technology providers who are building solutions worth sharing. Our integrators are doing extraordinary work every day. They built frameworks, utilities, and entire vertical solutions, and many of them want to share what they've created with the wider Ignition community. Inductive automation was founded by integrators. Ignition was designed to solve integrators' pain points, and our support for the integrator community has never wavered. The result is that this community, right here, has become the most innovative group of integrators in the world.
Absolutely. It's a community that is unique. It's open, it's collaborative, and we're focused on results. And to help even more people benefit from the world solutions this community has to offer, we're proud to announce another brand new initiative, Integrator Solutions. Kevin, you ready?
I'm really excited about this. Excuse our theatrics. The program will highlight production-ready solutions built by our Gold and Premier integrators. These aren't just examples or case studies. They're accelerators. They're real tools that you can use, from project templates to full project conversion utilities to AI-enhanced development tools and industry-specific applications. These solutions embody the creativity and the ingenuity of this community.
First, the conversion utility from Corso Systems takes the guesswork out of converting legacy SCADA systems to Ignition. And as a bonus, you can convert vision projects to Perspective as well. This tool makes use of Ignition's templates and UDTs so you can take this platform far into the future. And based on comparable quotes from manual migrations, you can see typically a 60% reduction in development time and costs.
Next, the AI Perspective Builder from BW Design Group is an AI chatbot that allows you to use natural language to deliver Ignition projects faster and more cost-effectively than legacy development methods. The AI pipeline rapidly converts your project requirements into professional screen layouts and tag definitions, dramatically reducing development time. This AI-enhanced approach allows you to focus more time on advanced functionality and innovation where you really shine, rather than repetitive development tasks.
The Vertex Solar and BEST project is a state-of-the-art Ignition project that helps you better visualize KPIs, optimize generation, and maintain unified control across multiple energy assets. This project helps you meet and exceed NERC and ISO requirements, and so whether you're building a greenfield solar PV site, managing a BEST project, or maintaining a large fleet of solar plants, this solution makes it easier.
IPOC, next, which stands for the Ignition Pump-Off Controller from Avadyne, is an Ignition-native lift optimization platform for monitoring and controlling pump-off controllers at scale. If you're part of the oil and gas industry, particularly in upstream, this probably means a lot to you. IPOC integrates with most POC models such as Centralift, GE, Lufkin, Smarten, Unico, and Weatherford. IPOC automatically captures surface and downhole dyno cards on configured frequencies and allows for operator-directed control.
And the Spark MES framework built by Flexpro Innovation, it is designed to provide manufacturers with a scalable, configurable, and cost-effective MES solution. It helps manufacturers gain real-time production insights, improve efficiency, and optimize operations. And it's designed with 10 powerful packages, providing end-to-end visibility and control across all of your manufacturing operations.
These solutions are just scratching the surface of the powerful solutions that the integrator community has to offer. When we launch this program later this year, you'll be able to see even more. And if you're an integrator, the main message here is, if you're interested in showcasing your solution, we would love to have you join the showcase. We published a sign-up page you can find in the community section of our website. It's there today. Go check it out. We've seen amazing solutions from this community. Both Travis and I have seen so many that you've come up and you've showed us what you've done, and we can't wait to see as this program grows and your solutions are highlighted.
Exactly. Together, these initiatives, Solution Suites, the Technology Ecosystem Program, Prove It, and Integrator Solutions are all about one thing, and that's helping you build and find the solutions that you need. The opportunities in this new paradigm are vast, but you don't have to explore them alone. You're part of a community that's here to support you every step of the way. And when you combine this community with the right solutions, amazing things happen.
We hope you are as excited about these initiatives as we are. We think they're going to make a really big difference for the community, for everyone here going forward. For our next section, we have some great examples of the amazing things that our community has been doing with Ignition over the past year. And this year's Discover Gallery perfectly exemplifies that. The Firebrand award-winning projects from this year's gallery show what's possible in this new paradigm of industrial enterprise integration that we've been talking about. To talk about these Firebrand projects, I'd like to introduce to you someone who's been spending years producing these amazing videos behind the scenes. She's been working at IA for over a decade now, so even if you've never met her before, chances are that you've seen her work. And I think there's no one better than Joanna Cortez, our multimedia manager, to talk about these projects. Joanna, over to you.
Oh. I guess there's Kent here, too.
Don't even worry about them. I've got you. Let's get your photo up there. Yeah, Kent Melville,
Hey.
Director of Sales Engineering, everybody. Let's go. Yes.
Hi, Team Kent.
It's important that you're up here, too, because you also work very closely with customers, just in a very different way than I do.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting because we kind of represent bookends to the customer interaction with inductive automation. I get to start by talking to customers at the beginning of their journey.
And then I get to showcase those incredible projects online and now present a few of them here on stage at ICC.
Yes, absolutely. And we're here to share a little bit of that journey with all of you today because this section isn't really about inductive. It's about you, the Ignition community.
That's right. Now, all of this talk about the new paradigm might sound aspirational, but the truth is that for many of you in this room, and those streaming from home, it's not some vision for the future. It's your reality today. You're already living in this new paradigm, and there is no better place to see that than right here in the projects you've built.
This year's Discover Gallery is filled with incredible projects that exemplify the power of industrial enterprise integration. These aren't just concepts, they are deployed solutions that are already transforming operations around the globe.
And we are especially excited to celebrate the projects that have earned our prestigious Firebrand Awards. Now, for those of you who are new to ICC, these awards recognize organizations and individuals who are truly pushing the boundaries of industrial automation, demonstrating the transformative power of Ignition in real-world applications. They represent the very best of what our community is building.
From massive top-to-bottom enterprise-level deployments to specific process-oriented applications, this year's Firebrand Award-winning projects embody the breadth of possibilities with the Ignition platform.
And we are kicking things off in Australia with our first Firebrand winner who showed us a completely different way to use Ignition. Insight Engineering developed a specialized application for Hames Paint that has no tags at all.
No tags?
No tags.
Well, this project is a good example of the power of rapid development tools and their ability to create user-centric applications that go beyond what we might traditionally think of as an industrial application. Because at Hames Paint, a specification is a document that describes to their customers the entire scope of a painting project. The original spec creation process was both time-consuming and heavily dependent on specialized knowledge, resulting in inefficiency, production bottlenecks, and poor traceability.
So Hames needed a new solution. But like Carl and Colby mentioned earlier, Ignition sometimes gets stuck with this like SCADA label, and so they were not even considering Ignition at first for this type of process revamp. But unusual use case or not, Insight needed to demonstrate that Ignition could meet all major project criteria: low code, flexible, and great support. So, what does an engineer do in that situation, Kent?
Well, what Insight decided to do was what any resourceful integrator might. They just built a proof of concept demo project all in a single day.
And this had the added benefit of showing another incredible facet of Ignition, its capability for rapid screen design that can facilitate an iterative design process.
Once Hames saw the demo project, Ignition immediately became a standout solution due to their existing Ignition-based MES, which took advantage of the platform's unlimited licensing model. With a focus on good UI and UX practices, the project, now known as SpecPro, uses the reporting module to dynamically generate these 3 unique report formats, each highly complex and diverse, containing details about clients, each configured area, and other standard documents, all while using the appropriate format for each of their intended end users.
The level of visibility that Ignition has brought to the spec creation process has resulted in a higher level of accountability, significantly more backup protection, accessible collaboration, and quantitative statistics to feed back to the business. Let's hear it for Insight Engineering.
And now for this next incredible project, we are headed to
Australia. This Firebrand project was designed and delivered by Sage Automation for Sydney Airport. Their project demonstrates how the new paradigm, with its focus on IT-OT convergence, provides a foundation for modern, future-proof infrastructure. Welcoming more than 44 million passengers through its 3 terminals each year, Sydney Airport is Australia's busiest airport. And they needed to migrate from a legacy airport management system to a secure and scalable Ignition-based solution, all with 0 downtime.
In a fast-moving airport environment, operations need to run smoothly or things can get really frustrating really fast, as I'm sure that anybody who flew to ICC this year could agree. For Sydney Airport, as operational demands grew, their legacy airport management system, or AMS, struggled to keep pace. Its fragmented SCADA structure inherited from multiple systems created inconsistencies for the operator experience, alarm settings, and especially for data management. Now, the Ignition project integrated more than 630 field devices to create a unified, intuitive system that improves operational visibility and enhances cybersecurity. The Ignition system is integrated with Sydney Airport's Azure environment for seamless data flow and reporting. It also has real-time data access, which empowers teams to troubleshoot and analyze issues directly within the AMS, reducing reliance on external reporting tools.
Ignition also transforms Sydney Airport's alarm monitoring with dynamic PLC status indicators and standardized alarms, allowing teams to preemptively address issues. This project improved alarming in some practical ways, too. During the course of the implementation, Sydney Airport discovered legacy lift alarms that had been disabled for years. It turns out that some faulty wiring was tripping the emergency alarm in the car park, and so they turned it off, and nobody noticed until they brought in the new system.
But thanks to a phased rollout and close collaboration, this time the cutover process was executed without disruption, bringing both systems online in parallel for testing and feedback before full migration. Running the systems in parallel allowed Sage and Sydney Airport to identify and resolve legacy issues, including hidden faults and wiring inconsistencies, but also improving overall system reliability. Let's give it up for Sage Automation. So Joanna, is this next project in Australia as well?
We are actually moving out of Australia for this next one, but we are still staying in the Southern Hemisphere. This next Firebrand winning project from Kinsera is an abnormal situation management, or ASM, style SCADA system designed for Sibanye-Stillwater's Rustenburg Platinum area in South Africa. Now, that is not to be confused, by the way, with the AMS that we were literally just talking about.
You got to keep those acronyms straight.
You gotta.
Well, this project shows what's possible with rapid development and deployment tools, empowering more people to both view and control systems from anywhere, with fewer resources and less configuration required.
With a truncated development timeline, Kinsera was able to deliver a solution that provided complete visibility across 6 dispersed gateways, encompassing 3 vertical shafts, 10 air compressors, and various utility areas. Sibanye's previous SCADA had a cumbersome interface that lacked critical features to enable Sibanye to operate effectively. The various sites also had differing standards, making cross-usage difficult for operators and technicians.
The Ignition system needed to provide a simple interface that incorporated multiple different PLC standards and tag structures while maintaining a consistent look and feel. Additionally, the system required external access from the business offices while not negatively affecting the critical view of the operator's control room that was on site. Now, to reduce development downtime, Kyocera built a standard project template that could be used in each of their operational areas. And this template contained objects that generated a full alarm tree, provided view-based navigation based on the layout of the tag providers and their various UDTs.
Sibanye now has a high-performance ASM SCADA that is simpler to maintain, requires fewer computing resources, and enables a broader range of people to view the system from more locations, all while maintaining operational functionality and security.
So let's give Kyocera a round of applause.
Our next Firebrand Award goes to a project that proves you don't have to compromise on safety to achieve incredible innovation. This one is from NREL, a cornerstone in the US Department of Energy's National Lab Complex.
And this project really shows off the power of using highly flexible open platforms to create a system that can adapt to new technology.
At the Energy Systems Integration Facility, NREL needed a next-generation SCADA platform that could support some of the most advanced energy integration research in the world. But their previous SCADA system was struggling to keep pace, and they needed to rebuild from the ground up.
And actually, the results of that were incredible. The new system includes a custom recipe management tool that vastly improves both safety and speed. Previously, researchers had to manually enter equipment and IDs to define an experiment.
With a simple click on the equipment they need, the system now automatically calculates and applies electrical boundaries to prevent unsafe bridging between voltage domain. That's a game changer when you're dealing with high energy equipment.
That's right. And they also built a custom oscilloscope tool that allowed researchers to stream live waveforms from thousands of electrical meters to their laptops at up to 312,000 samples per second. Plus, their team automated a very large part of the Ignition UDT management process, which lets them quickly import new equipment configurations and make bulk edits to existing devices with just a few clicks, greatly speeding up their research.
The project took 2 years of intense development, but the feedback from the researchers has been overwhelmingly positive. Project disruptions are down, usability is up, and innovation has accelerated. This project shows how a modern SCADA system can be more than just a control system. It can be a foundational research tool.
So everyone give it up for NREL.
Our next project comes from ASE Global, making this their 9th time in the Discover Gallery, but it is their first ever Firebrand Award. Is persistence key to winning, Kent?
Well, how do you think I got added to the keynote again this year? But in all seriousness, in the case of ASE Global, this award is well-deserved not just for the quantity of their projects, but also the quality of their engineering.
If there's one thing that I've learned about integrators over the years, is that they're tenacious in their strive for excellence, and ASE Global definitely embodies that. This project shows what can happen when you use a single platform that natively spans from the plant floor all the way up through MES and enterprise systems, providing a unified foundation for continuous innovation, which helps a lot of people, and in this case, a lot of shrimp. A global leader in aquaculture feed aimed to establish its largest shrimp feed production facility worldwide in Guayaquil, Ecuador.
With the help of ASE Global, they implemented the Galapagos project, a scalable ignition solution that unified production management, control, and monitoring across 2 large facilities, all the while meeting ISA 95, 88, 101, and 104 standards. Now, in accordance with those standards, the solution featured a batch management system that handled production order creation, scheduling, real-time material consumption, along with semi-finished and finished product tracking for the company's 160-ton per hour production rate.
All of this was accomplished with back-end logic in Ignition using customized Python and SQL scripting that ASE Global developed from scratch. And these 2 manufacturing plants are huge, with over 600,000 I/O signals for motors, sensors, and actuators. To meet the project requirements, ASE Global implemented a distributed architecture for the entire system, with each facility having a scale-out architecture of its own for proper load balancing. The Ignition system also needed to integrate with OEM systems for dryers, extruders, dynamic weighting, packaging systems, and the company's ERP through a proprietary corporate middleware.
With this Ignition system, both Galapagos plants now have a standardized process control system providing key operational processes from intake all the way through to packaging. This solution has allowed the company to continuously update inventory, generate real-time reports, enhance control and monitoring, identify inefficiencies, implement critical alarm notifications, and, perhaps most importantly, establish the foundation for future integrations. Let's hear it for ASE Global.
It really is inspiring to get to see all of the different countries that these projects come out of. And these are just the firebrands. The gallery brings us projects from Canada, France, Mexico, the Netherlands, Australia again. That just shows the global growth of this community and also the incredible work that has been coming out of the inductive automation team in Australia.
Yes, in this year's gallery, these firebrand winners underline the diversity of Ignition implementations. 5 projects from all over the world in multiple industries accomplishing vastly different goals. And it all started with Ignition. It's awesome to see, exactly, yes, very exciting. It's exciting to see how this platform can be used in so many different ways and to see all of the good that this community is able to do with it.
The Firebrand Awards have always been a recognition of the transformative power that Ignition provides to companies and their customers. But a few years ago, we started giving out a very special Firebrand Award to honor those impacting our community. And this year, we're awarding the Community Impact Firebrand Award to someone who does help improve the community, but also Ignition itself. If you've ever been on the forum before, I'm sure you've heard of him. Let's say congratulations to this year's winner, Nick Minchin. Let's hear it for Nick, yes. Now, I know that Nick is a very humble guy, and he is not the kind of person to go around bragging about himself. So we're going to do it.
That's right. Now, Nick's Ignition journey started all the way back in 2014 as part of a fuel filling system for the rail industry. Soon after, he saw an opportunity that would change the course of his career. Nick proposed a bold idea to replace the SCADA platform at one of Australia's largest wineries with Ignition, and all just for the same cost as 2 years of their ongoing support fees.
Yes, that's right. You heard right. We are back in Australia again. With his reputation on the line, Nick fully immersed himself in Ignition development. And it was during this time that he found his people on the Inductive Automation Forum. Ultimately, Nick's proposal would go on to disrupt the technological landscape in the wine industry before doing the same across the continent in manufacturing, utilities, agriculture, transport, and more. Nick's knowledge comes from the sheer amount of time that he spends developing solutions and solving challenges in live Ignition projects. Under Nick's mentorship, Sage Automation has gone from having 2 Ignition developers to around 90 engineers with Ignition experience.
For a decade, gotta love Nick. For a decade now, Nick has demonstrated his passion for the Ignition community by working for Sage during the day, only to jump on the forum later that night to help someone halfway across the world for no other reason than a desire to help others. Nick's contributions to the Ignition community have been truly remarkable. He genuinely wants to ensure that Ignition is the best product that it can be for all of you, submitting more than 200 feature requests and close to 300 bug reports, each with an accompanied detailed story, and he's been willing to discuss those at length with our support and development teams. So we're thrilled to recognize all that Nick has done for this community, for Sage, for Ignition, and for anyone willing to ask for help. Let's hear it for Nick.
The diversity of users within the Ignition community drives us to continually evaluate what a Firebrand Award represents and who deserves one. This year, we added a new award called the Educational Engagement Firebrand, which is being awarded to a group of students making a real difference in people's lives. This inaugural Educational Engagement Firebrand Award goes to Hebronsoft and Hebron IT Academy. Let's give them the biggest round of applause. Yeah.
Hebron IT Academy is an organization for Ukrainian youth from orphaned and underprivileged backgrounds. This project was developed exclusively by students who used Ignition to train a 3D printed hand prosthesis for individuals who have lost limbs due to war or trauma. This project shows how the new paradigm is not just for industrial professionals. It's a force for world-changing innovation, showing how an open and accessible platform can empower anyone to create meaningful solutions.
This project aimed to address a critical gap faced by individuals who have lost limbs: the long waiting period before receiving a permanent prosthesis. During this time, individuals are at risk of muscle atrophy and lack the opportunity to physically and psychologically prepare for using a bionic limb. This low-cost, accessible, 3D printed training hand prosthesis is an interim tool that enables users to stay active, strengthen their muscles, and become familiar with prosthetic usage.
So you may be wondering, what is Ignition's role in all of this? Well, integrating Ignition's visualization capabilities with Arduino-based muscle sensors, the students developed a custom dashboard that tracks sensor activity to display real-time muscle activation levels. This live feedback allows users to see their recovery progress and understand how the prosthesis responds to their input, creating an engaging and measurable environment that is critical for muscle development and psychological readiness.
Despite having no prior experience in biomedical engineering, prosthetics, or even 3D modeling, these students conducted all research, design, and development independently. From prototyping with 3D printing technologies to exploring hardware-software integration, they overcame technical barriers through determination, collaboration, and guided mentorship.
Now, the outcome of this was not only a functioning prosthetic prototype, but also a powerful example of how inclusive education can fuel world-changing innovation. So now let's give these students at Hebronsoft and all of our other Firebrand Award winners one final big round of applause.
I think you can see from these projects how this community is really redefining the possibilities of industrial automation and the positive impact that it can have on people's lives. Now, this may be the end of our section, but it is nowhere near the end of these stories. And I hope that every single person in here will take the opportunity to go and check out these amazing Discover Gallery projects for yourself, and also check out the networking hour that is happening later today.
Now, you've seen how this community is taking their processes, their companies, and their industries to new heights. And to support you with that, our company has also been raising the bar. And in a moment, our COO, Kat Yeshka, will come out on stage to talk about how we are leveling up our company. But first, we'd like you to hear from the team members at Inductive Automation about what leveling up means to them. Thank you.
Get my head on the mic. Inductive Automation has definitely leveled up this year.
I think level up means to me growth, how we're expanding our offerings and how we're always trying to be the best version of ourselves.
We're at a new venue. We're releasing Ignition 8.3, solution suites, integrator solutions. It's a perfect theme. It kind of chose itself.
Leveling up to me is always associated with gaining some new abilities or capabilities, having some new skill that you didn't have previously. And I really think that all of the employees have leveled up in the last couple of years.
I think level up means to give a great experience to someone where they'll be able to remember it, have an emotional connection, and share it with other people.
When it comes to leveling up with my team, we take everything from the feedback survey and we applied that to the conference this year. We got a bigger venue. We were giving a lot more sessions, a lot more learning experiences, networking, better food.
The most excited milestone for leveling up this year was the Ignition Exchange. We reached 500 public resources this year. It's really exciting seeing the community take those free resources, implement them in their projects to have an even quicker results with Ignition.
My individual development team, we have definitely grown. We've really improved mentorship of the people within that team, and we've really leveled up our integration with our embedded QA. We are pretty much at a point of one QA for one developer. It's really nice to have that close, tight feedback.
What I'm looking forward to most with the company leveling up would be just the impact that we're able to make across the globe and helping people do their best job to level themselves up as well.
I'm really excited for Inductive Automation leveling up in the kind of nonprofit community-focused program. So I work in the educational engagement program, helping schools. I like our community impact program, helping nonprofits with free licensing, just focusing on really empowering others.
I think we're seeing our industry and our platform and just really everyone else in our community leveling up their own skills and, pushing the boundaries.
Level up just in general, it's perfect because as a company, that's exactly what we've done. As a product, that's what we've done. Personally, that applies to me. To my team, it applies. Really just, taking it to the next level all throughout the entirety of the company and process and product.
Please welcome Inductive Automation's Chief Operating Officer, Kat Yeshka.
I'm so glad we got to watch that video because it shows some of the amazing people who work hard every day to support this community and the work that you do. I'm not just talking about what you're developing in Ignition. I'm talking about what you're using our platform to do to make a positive impact on the world. From companies that are streamlining complex food production to deliver essential goods more efficiently, to students creating 3D printed prosthetics to help the wounded. Behind each project is a purpose. That inspires us. And that's why we've made it our mission to help you accomplish your missions. As this community has grown, so has your impact, spanning virtually every industry and every country. So to keep up with supporting your efforts, we've had to level up our own. We know that your work is too important to be left to chance. You need a partner and a platform that you can trust, one that's safe, secure, and future-proof. For over 20 years, we've been working hard to be that partner. And this year, we've continued to level up our company so that we can continue to be that partner for the next 20 years as well. Let's take a look at education. When we first started, many people didn't understand who we were or what our software did. We emphasized education early on because we understood that once you learned more about our software, you would feel safe relying on us. Today, that focus has made a real impact. With over 125,000 active users, millions of hours of videos watched, and over 40,000 credentials earned, our learning resources are a key way that people succeed with our software. It's why we offer in-person, virtual, and Inductive University, the best free online training program in the industry, featuring hundreds of videos. And our commitment to sharing knowledge doesn't stop there. We continue to expand and refine our educational resources. Our documentation and training teams have been hard at work behind the scenes, working on a whole new set of videos so that you can jump right in and learn the latest features of Ignition 8.3. We've also redesigned the entire curriculum for our live training courses to be better aligned with your skill level. Brand new topics start next month with offering advanced topics like CSS in perspective, container deployments, and more. That brings us to the people who are turning training into an impact, our integrators. We know that behind every great control systems are great integrators. We understand who integrators are. You're the front line of innovation, the real agents of change, solving customer problems and achieving customer goals to create the systems of tomorrow. Today, integrators are asked to do far more than ever before, from electrical systems to AI to cloud. This can be daunting, but with us, you have a platform and a partner to help keep up with whatever new technology is coming down the road. A huge part of that is getting certified in Ignition. Getting certified is a gateway to success because it opens up new development opportunities and new opportunities for career advancement and company growth. In July, we announced that our core certification tests would be free for members of our integrated program who've completed Inductive University. And through certification and achievement in our program, free gold certification can also be earned. The benefits of this are huge, not just for integration companies, but for end users. We've built the world's best integrator network, with integration companies located all around the world. The highest level of integrators in our program is Premier. These companies represent the best of the best in Ignition integration. And I'm happy to say, since the last ICC, many new companies have risen to the rank of Premier. You'll see the newest premiers listed on this slide. Let's give these companies a huge round of applause. Premier status reflects top technical skill, proven project success, and strong engagement with the Ignition community. It's more than just a title. It's a mark of leadership, and it's earned by only the top 2%. These new premiers span 5 countries, joining the ranks of an elite group that's shaping the future of industrial automation. You'll see names here from North America, Europe, South America, and Australia. Just another sign of how global this community has become. That global growth isn't just something we're seeing among integrators. We're seeing this in our entire ecosystem. 2 years ago, we established an office in Australia. And since that time, we've seen amazing growth down there, more than doubling in size. IA Australia can provide direct support to the region, providing a hub for Ignition on the other side of the globe. And the Ignition community in Australia has experienced amazing growth, as we just saw, with 2 Firebrand winning awards and even the Community Impact Award, all going to companies and individuals in Australia. By leveling up our training, our support, and our presence internationally, we're working to ensure that we're a partner you can rely on. And strengthening our processes is a really big part of that. This year, we've been working hard to level up our critical processes. An example of that is strengthening our development lifecycle by following established frameworks like ISA 62443. This standard for industrial automation and control systems guides everything from how we build our software to how we handle security vulnerabilities. We've also applied this structured approach to other processes in our company. And after months of hard work, I'm very proud to announce that inductive automation is now officially ISO 9001 certified. This is not just a plaque to put up on the wall. ISO 9001 represents the gold standard for quality management systems. For our customers, especially those in highly regulated industries like life sciences and pharmaceuticals, this is an absolute game changer. It means that our processes are formalized, standardized, and focused on customer satisfaction. And this is just the beginning of our commitment to leveling up our processes. Over the next year, we've committed to achieving ISO 27001, which is the standard for organizational-wide information security management systems, followed by ISO 14001, which focuses on environmental management. When you combine the enhancements in Ignition 8.3 with our certified processes and our track record of reliability, Ignition is a platform you can feel secure using now and into the future. As we talked about earlier, the industry is in the midst of a paradigm shift. Technology is moving faster than ever before, and the old approach to enterprise integration can't keep pace anymore. With the old paradigm giving way to the new, the safe choice for the future is clear. Ignition is the platform to future-proof your processes because of our dedication to open standards, unlimited licensing, and our 20-year legacy of incorporating the best OT and IT technology into our platform. We were the first OT platform to leverage SQL for historical data, the first to build OPC UA natively into our platform, the first to adopt MQTT as a standard protocol for IIoT, the first to embrace containerization, the first to open the entire industrial platform to rest, making Ignition the most programmatically configurable platform on the market. Choosing Ignition means that you don't have to worry about being an expert in every new technology that comes out, because we've got your back so that you can move forward confidently into the future. And that future is happening right here at ICC. Every part of this conference is designed to help you experience the future of automation firsthand by seeing the new paradigm. And it's a choose your own adventure out there, because we've got plenty of things for you to see and do. You can visit the Discover Gallery to see inspiring real-world projects where Ignition is transforming operations around the world. Or you can explore the ecosystems in the halls. You can also see some of the exhibitors prove out their solutions live using the virtual Prove It showcases. There's also over 30 sessions where you can learn and gain practical insights from Ignition experts. You can even collaborate with people at the table talks or at the new collab. Or you can simply just take a break and play some games at the SCADA arcade. But be sure to be back here tomorrow morning for the technical keynote, where Carl and Colby will talk more about Ignition 8.3, new technologies impacting the industry, and what's ahead for the platform. We made Level Up our theme this year because we believe that this community has reached the next level. And we didn't get here by accident. We created it together. The future is here, and there has never been a better time to be part of this community. This is the right time, and you're in the right place to experience it all. And if at any point along the way you get a little overwhelmed by the sheer amount of opportunities and possibilities, remember, it's quite simple. Whatever your goal, it starts with Ignition. Thank you, and let's have a great conference.
Thank you for joining us for today's keynote. The presentation is now over. Please enjoy the rest of the day.